Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is someone who just finished ghostwriting the 75th book in the Waverly Prep series. It's Anande Boetes.
I wish. Goodbye, financial troubles. That would be amazing.
75 books.
75 books. I've read about people who write that many books. I mean, listen, if you watch the movie and you see the type of young adults, I guess it could be done. Still though, 75. 75. I'm gonna need a lot of Star Wars alcohol. Definitely.
Star Wars.
Definitely.
You know what I love too? In the commentary, Jason Reitman was talking about how he wanted to have Patton Oswalt doing something as quote unquote as masculine as possible. So when we see him, he's working as a cooper on those barrels, and he's charring the insides, looking like a complete boss. And then he makes all this whiskey. Then we see his toy collection. Or it just I love it. I love the kind of the way that his character is, and I love the way that Reitman framed him. And I'm so happy we're talking about this, Zanandi, because I gotta tell you, I watched this movie in 2011, and it felt I had no idea where it was going. I don't think I've ever seen a character like Mavis Gary on screen before. I love Diablo Cody's writing. It did. I don't care if I annoy people. It didn't feel like a dude wrote it, which makes me so happy to watch.
Totally.
And it's just, I think it is my favorite Charlize Theron role, because she's not hiding. And listen, she earned her Oscar for Monster, but she's not hiding behind weight gain and makeup. She's not hiding behind one arm and a shaved head. This is just Charlize Theron on screen, and multiple. They call it multiple. Not disguises, but she changes up her dress look a lot in this movie. But it's just her on screen holding it, and I think it's my favorite performance of hers by far.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I also think this is her best work that I've seen. Yeah, Monster obviously was good and whatever, but I don't know, this character is just next level. And yeah, I also love that. For me, it was also you never get to see characters like this. I think Diablo Cody created such a great character, and Charlize just nailed it. She took it that 3-4 steps further, really. I mean, she just made it pop. It was refreshing to see, especially back then, we didn't get to see women being all drunk and doing everything wrong on screen. That was we had such stereotypical roles for women, especially back then still. So yeah, it was just so cool to see her, and like you say, not hiding behind looking differently like she did in Monster, for instance. No, it was beautiful Charlize, with her beauty and everything, but kind of they worked on that. The makeup became grotesque. And almost like oily, she's sweating. I don't know, the makeup was really, really well done. There were scenes where I was just you guys nailed it. Where she's plastering herself to go see her high school boyfriend, the guy she's now there to steal.
Charlize
from,
did a lot of her own
marriage.
makeup. Yeah, it's crazy. She did a lot of her own makeup. Sorry to interrupt, but it's kind of cool.
Excellent.
She loved this character, and it made me so happy to know that. And also too, I love. We're going to the ending here, and you're talking about going and breaking up a happy marriage, but I really like Elizabeth Reeser and Patrick Wilson in this movie because of.
I love Elizabeth Reeser in general. I love her. She was my favorite in Haunting of Hill House. I love her so much. And she's great in this. She's so nice. She's so nice.
She regrets inviting Mavis over.
She's the opposite of Mavis.
Yeah, she teaches special needs students. She's in a band. She drinks beer. They really wanted. I like how they definitely wanted to create this cool presence. And normally in movies, there's always a Baxter, right? You're Bill Pullman in Sleepless in Seattle. You're Carrie Ells in Liar Liar. But in this one, Buddy did not have a Baxter. He had an awesome Beth. So, but the ending too, where you're okay, she's going back into town. She's going to get this guy. It's going to cause problems for him. He's going to sleep on the couch. He's going to be miserable. But after that scene where they kiss outside their house, he went and told his wife, presumably, And then she's like, hey, she's not right. Let's see if she's okay. And then he told her, and they were on the same page. And it was just so refreshing that he talked to her, and he didn't want to run away with Mavis at the end. He was kind of scared of her. And I thought I had never seen that on screen ever. And it was just, I remember just being blown away. I think that scene blew me more away than any explosion in any Michael Bay movie. Like, it's just, which I've counted all of them, by the way, just letting you know. And it's, I don't know, a 90-minute movie, so refreshing, good story. And the ending, oh my gosh, with Patton Oswalt and Colette Wolfe as Sandra, just telling her how awesome she is. Like, she went back to them, right, Zanandi, to like feel better.
So good.
Did she go back to them to feel better, or did she told them, I am not okay, and they just ignored her, and they're like, no, you're beautiful and you're fine. Did she go back fishing to like get the attention, to like get her power scores back up so she could go back to Minneapolis? Like, why did she go back there at the end?
I guess because this was the only people that really like, Matt specifically really like saw her. Like, I love the scene in the bar. So the bar scene, I think, is one of the best scenes, and I think it's highly underrated because for a lot of people it looks like just a scene where, yeah, okay, the band's playing and Mavis is trying her best with Buddy, but Buddy only has eyes for his wife Beth playing the drums, like killer. But there's so much going on there, and where like Mavis realizes, yo, Buddy really like he's into his wife, this guy, but she doesn't want to believe it. Like, you can see herself jinx it, like she's jinxing it. She's like, no, like she sees it, and then it's like, no, that's not what's happening. Like, Charlize does it so well. And then she spots Matt looking at her, and that moment is so good. It's so good because she sees him seeing her, and I think that's why she goes back, because he's really the only one that sees her, and like, you know, because she can't talk to her parents. Shame. I mean, they look like very nice people, but also, wow, they're oblivious. She straight up tells them, I think I'm an alcoholic. And mom's like,
Yeah.
what? I mean, yes, your daughter is an alcoholic. Help her. She's literally sitting here. Like, anyway. Yeah, I mean, she goes back to Matt because, yeah, he gives her the time of day. He gives her the space because he sees her. So I think it's a little bit of both. She doesn't have anywhere else to go. But at the same time, yeah, she'll definitely, I think she knows she'll get at least some acceptance there, which is sad because that's just what everyone wants. Not whether you're a narcissist or not. Like, everyone just wants a little bit of acceptance, you know.
Yeah.
The
No,
character,
you're right.
and that's also what I love. Like, a character is so complex because she's a full-on narcissist. I love how in the end, you know, the ending, it's cynical. It's not like this happy Hollywood ending. She's changed now. I mean, no, because that's not how it works anyway. She's still like got a long way to go. I love that it's not completely hopeless though. You know, like when Matt tells her, but you weren't better then and you're not better now. It kind of implies that you haven't actually peaked yet. You think you have, but you haven't. Like, that's that little bit of hope that he leaves, and like, you still have a life ahead of you. You just need to seriously let go of the way you think things need to go. Which is just good. General life lessons, kids.
And getting away from Waverly Prep is going to be good for her as well, because
Absolutely.
she's just writing about Kendall. She's living fan fiction through Kendall.
Exactly. Totally stuck in that adolescence. Yeah.
And I love her, you know, when she goes out to the bar for her first date with the guy. We never see his face, but he starts talking about how he did a trip, he was in overseas, and she's like, yeah, that sounds terrible. He's like, no, it's the most fulfilling thing in my life. And she's like, oh, that's awesome. She's just no interest in him. She just agreed with whatever he said. And I don't know. I just love, I'm telling you, this, like, I feel her performance. I sent you a message, and it sort of exudes unhealthy to me. And what I mean is that there's just, whether it's depression, narcissistic, you know, she's absolutely a narcissist, or like just chronic depression, whatever it is, like, they never fully explain in this movie. And you know what's interesting too? Reitman took out a lot of her drinking in this movie. There's a lot more of her drinking, but he didn't want people to solely attribute her behavior to being an alcoholic. Diablo Cody said that she wrote Juno, she wrote Jennifer's Body about kids. So then she wrote about, she was writing an update of a kid's book, and there are all these pseudonyms who are ghostwriters who are writing for this main author. And she's like, I want to know who this person is. And then I guess she saw an article about someone who went back home to get this person, and she just combined it into Mavis Gary. And I don't know, I love it. I know I keep saying this, I don't care. This movie is so refreshing because I can't think of another single character like this. Because she's not okay, what's the right word? I don't think she's a monster. I think something is just like she has something undiagnosed or something that is unmedicated.
Bad.
Yeah, exactly.
She needs to listen to Matt, who's her best friend in her life, apparently. I also actually, on that note, Vicky in the beginning. Vicky, I love Vicky. She's got a scene, she's got a scene there in the beginning where you can see like Charlize is like showing her the baby pic and like having her all arguments of, no, but why would he send this to me? And he's obviously not happy. How can you be happy? I can't remember the exact words it's spoken, but you can see Vicky is just like, she's trying to figure out what is the right thing that Mavis wants to hear now. What is she supposed to say? Like, she's not like responding in an authentic way and her own thoughts. You can see she's like, what would Mavis want to hear now? That's her best friend back home. So like, yeah, arguably Matt is, the best one to help her out in this situation. And I love, I think Peyton also did a great job playing. It was very like toned down, I think, his performance. I loved it. I did read somewhere he was like, yeah, he got like acting coaching and also how to like play this person that got bashed when he was like younger and now like, has like some body stuff happening. And I just thought, yeah, it was cool seeing him in a role like that. I liked it.
Yeah, Vicky, she just kind of gets steamrolled, or she's so tired of dealing with Mavis that she just agrees. She does not care. It's like, yeah, our life is awesome.
Yeah, it's like, it's not really that friend that's going to tell you, no, you don't do that. Like, yeah,
I mean,
Vicky's just there.
Yeah. This is a woman who saw an email of a baby and then became obsessed with the fact that they sent that as like a cry for help and she had to go break up their relationship. That's
the imagination and the hoops you have to jump through to get to that point. Yeah,
some mental gymnastics for sure.
She should listen to Matt and like help is needed. But yeah, I do love it that it's not just like, okay, she's just a narcissist or she just has chronic depression or like she clearly is struggling to get over her divorce, because I love it that there's like these little things from her background that gets dropped and you're like, right, she's been through a divorce. That could mess you up. Oh, at the end you find out she had a miscarriage with this guy. That can like take a toll on a woman. So yeah, like she's got a lot of that going. And then like with the like obsessive compulsive thing, and it's a complex character and it works. It's not too much either. It's I think it can sound like it might be too much, but it's not. It just works. Like she's a complicated, and then yeah, she was Miss Quain in high school, but girl can write. She's a ghostwriter.
Yeah, she's a beast. She turns out popular novels.
She's got brains. She can write. It might not be like Hemingway, but she can write. So yeah, she's such an interesting character. And you're right. I mean, that's why I loved the movie when I first saw it. Juno was fine and okay for me.